A little late, but let's start this press engagement. I open the floor for questions. So we start from here. Ayushi.
So this is Ayush Jaiswal from NI. I would just like to have your reaction on the second statement by the US State Department spokesperson on Kejriwal, which has also mentioned the frozen Congress account.
Okay. Please.
So this is Pal Singh from Doordarshan. Could you tell us about the engagement with the Ukrainian foreign minister?
Please.
Vedika Sood from CNN International. I have two questions, so bear with me. The first is there were 22 Indian crew members on board the container ship when it collided with the bridge in Baltimore. What more can you tell us about their health, their condition, where they are, and has someone from the government reached out to them? The second question is if you can give us an update on the Indians who were duped by the agents and were sent to Russia to join the military. How many men do we know of now who are still in Russia, and what's the update on the death toll, if any? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, question there to a friend.
This is Kunal from PTI. This is just a follow-up on the question the lady asked. The 22 crew member who were there on board, I think one report suggests that he was injured and taken to a hospital and he's now safe. Do we know about the condition of the other crew members? About the particulars, were they Singapore-based, were they Indian-based and traveling? And has there been any official communication from the US government or Maryland authorities to the Indian side? Thank you.
उमाशंकर सिंह एनडीटीवी से एक आपत्ति जताए जाने के बाद फिर से अमेरिका की तरफ से दूसरा बयान आया है केजरीवाल और कांग्रेस के खाते को लेकर, तो इस पे क्या हमने कोई अपनी तरफ से नाराज़गी जताई है, आपत्ति फिर जताई है, ये किसी को तलब किया गया है यूएस एम्बेसी से फिर?
So let me take all these questions and then we'll come back. There are couple of questions regarding the US State Department spokesperson's comment. As you know that yesterday India had lodged its strong objection and protest with the senior official from the US Embassy with regard to the comments made by the US State Department. The recent remarks by the State Department are unwarranted. Any such external imputation on our electoral and legal processes is completely unacceptable. In India, legal processes are driven only by the rule of law. Anyone who has similar ethos, especially fellow democracies, should have no difficulty in appreciating this fact. India is proud of its independent and robust democratic institutions. We are committed to protect them from any form of undue external influences. Mutual respect and understanding form the foundation of international relations, and states are expected to be respectful of the sovereignty and internal affairs of others. So this is our statement in response to your questions. हिंदी में इसका आपको रूपांतरण करके आपको दे दिया जाएगा जी। मैंने खासकर बोला है कि इसका रूपांतरण करके आपको दे दिया जाए। Amrit, your question was regarding the visit of Ukrainian Foreign Minister. The visit of Ukrainian Foreign Minister is happening on the invitation of External Affairs Minister. He'll be here on a 2-day visit. As you would have seen, we have issued a press release in this regard. He'll have a bilateral engagement with the External Affairs Minister, where they will go over the gamut of issues that lie in the domain of bilateral relations, and also review the Intergovernmental Commission that was held earlier. They will also discuss issues regarding global issues and regional issues of common concern, and then there are several other engagements also lined up for the Ukrainian Foreign Minister. Vedika, regarding your question on the Indians who were on the ship, our information is that There are 21 crew members, of which 20 are Indians. All of them are in good shape, good health. One of them got injured slightly, needed to have some stitches. The stitches have been given and he's then gone back to the ship. Our embassy is in close touch with the Indians on board and also with local authorities in this matter. Regarding Russia, as I told you earlier also, we are constantly in touch with Russian authorities. We have taken it up strongly for them to have our nationals released and discharged as early as possible. I will have an update for you, and as and when I have an update for you, I will keep you informed. On the death toll, we know, last time also I had told you that 2 people have passed away. Their mortal remains have come to India, and they have and have been sent to their family members. And so the death toll is where 2 people had passed away, died in that in the conflict. Kunal, regarding your question on the crew members, I already answered. There are 20 Indian nationals on board, and they are in good health. And one of them was injured, and we've taken care of him. उमा जी, आपके सवाल का जवाब हमने दे दिया है अंग्रेजी में, हिंदी में आपको इसका रूपांतरण, इसका कॉपी मिल जाएगा. सिद्धांत.
Sir, this is regarding China. China recently again claimed the Indian state of Arunachal Pradesh. Your reaction? And secondly, it also reacted on the Pannun case, saying that countries should abide by rules-based order. What is India's reaction on that?
Okay. Please, Madhu.
सर, मधुरेंद्र, मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से. कल WMCC की बैठक भी हुई और उसमें LAC पर जो भारत और चीन के बीच का विवाद है उसको भी लेकर ये बताया गया एक प्रेस रिलीज में भी कि काफ़ी इन डेप्थ डिस्कशन हुआ. बियॉन्ड द प्रेस रिलीज अगर कुछ जानकारी दे पाएँ कि बातचीत किस नतीजे तक पहुँची.
Hi, this is Jessica from DD India. On the recent visit of Prime Minister to Bhutan, there was a proposal to construct a motorable road through Bhutan that would connect Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. Any update on that, and any concerns that Bhutan might have expressed?
Okay. Rishikesh.
Rishikesh from PTI. So about India-China border talks. So is there any specific area of LAC being discussed, like center area or Arunachal?
Okay. Rishabh.
So Rishabh from Times. Now the Canadian Prime Minister has again spoken about credible allegations against India in the Niger case. And he has spoken about that he is engaging constructively with India. So if we can have an update on India-Canada discussion around this, given that the state media from Canada had released a footage claiming it to be the CCTV footage of Niger killing.
It's come back. Any questions that are related to the subjects that were just highlighted? Sudhi?
Sir, Shudhi Ranjan from Bloomberg, sir. Just drawing your attention to the recent statement that we have seen from Germany on Kejriwal. We have seen a string of statements from the United States on the same issue. Does the government of India see this as separate, disparate incidents, and or they see a connection between these two?
Similar questions? Okay. So, Siddhant, regarding your question, let me make it very clear. Our position on the matter has been made very clear on Arunachal Pradesh time and again. We have recently also issued statements in this regard. I think a couple of statements. China may repeat its baseless claims as many times as they want. That is not going to change our position. Arunachal Pradesh was, is, and will remain and always remain an integral and inalienable part of India. Your question regarding what the Chinese MFA had spoken about a certain person. I would say that India and the United States, as two countries adhering to rule of law, are capable of dealing with any issues that we have between ourselves. There is no role for any speculative comments and gratuitous advice by unrelated third parties. So that answers your question. मधु, आपका सवाल था जो अभी हमने बैठक किया है चीन के साथ उसके बारे में, उस पर हम लोगों ने एक प्रेस विज्ञप्ति जारी की है. आपको मैं कहूँगा कि आप उस प्रेस विज्ञप्ति को पढ़ें. उसके जो हमको कहना था हम लोगों ने उस प्रेस विज्ञप्ति में कह दिया है. The 29th meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs was held on 27th in Beijing. On our side, the delegation was led by our Joint Secretary in East Asia in the Ministry of External Affairs. The Chinese side was led by Director General of the Boundary and Oceanic Department of the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The two sides had an in-depth exchange of views on how to achieve complete disengagement and resolve the remaining issues along the line of actual control in the western sector of India-China border areas. In the interim, both sides agreed to maintain regular contact through diplomatic and military channels, and on the need to uphold peace and tranquility on the ground in the border areas in accordance with existing bilateral agreements and protocols. So this is that we have to share with you. Jessica, your question regarding the road project you talked about, I would say that I have not seen any. You referred to any report in that regard? Where do you see this then?
I read a brief mention in CGTN about it as well, but otherwise there have been just.
Well, I have not seen any specific report in this regard. However, as you may have seen from the outcomes of the Prime Minister's visit, recent visit to Bhutan, the two sides have been pursuing connectivity projects, several initiatives for enhancing connectivity, taking a broader view of this area of cooperation, given its significant benefits, including for tourism and for economic development. ऋषिकेश, आपका सवाल भी चीन को लेके था, जो हम लोग के साथ बातचीत चल रही है, दो पक्षीय बातचीत चल रही है, उस पर हम लोगों ने प्रेस रिलीज जारी किया है. उस प्रेस रिलीज में जो हम लोगों को कहना था हम लोगों ने कह दिया है, तो वहीं तक यही है हमारे पास अभी आपको बात बताने के लिए. Rishabh, you had a question on the Canadian Prime Minister's recent comments. See, what Prime Minister Trudeau has really said is nothing new. I would recall that on 21st September last year, my predecessor had, in a presser here, had mentioned that India remains ready, and I would like to reiterate that we are ready to investigate any specific and concrete information if it is shared with us, but we are yet to receive any such information. We have also cautioned against playing politics and giving extremists more space. So that is to answer your question. Sudhi, on the question of comments made by spokespersons of the United States State Department and the comments made by the spokesperson of the German Foreign Ministry, we have made our position very clear. We have, in the case of German Foreign Ministry's comments, we made a statement, and similarly we made a statement on the comments made by the US State Department spokesperson, and today again we have made some comments. So that is where I leave it. Suhasini.
Suhasini Haider from The Hindu. If I could just ask about Mr. Kuleba's visit. Ahead of the visit, Prime Minister Modi had spoken to President Zelensky, who had then tweeted that he hopes India will join an upcoming Swiss peace conference that will bring both Russia and Ukraine to the table, or it hopes to do so. So I wanted to ask what India's position is on this Swiss peace conference, and whether India will be taking any kind of a larger role, discussing any kind of a larger role when Mr. Kuleba comes here on the issue of the Ukraine war. And my second question pertains to External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's statement in Malaysia. He said that India has been asked to convey messages on the Israel-Gaza conflict right now. I was wondering if you could tell us more about what kind of messages India has been asked to convey to both sides, and is India explicitly calling for a ceasefire? Because every other country, including the United States, has now officially asked for a ceasefire in Gaza. And while India has, of course, voted at the UNGA, there is no such statement yet. So I just wanted to clarify, what is India's position on calling for on Israel for a ceasefire in Gaza?
Abhishek?
Sir, Abhishek Jaiswal from CNN News 18. My question is regarding Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement that came in the wake of External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar respect China's territorial sovereignty. You have any comment on that?
Okay. Yeah. So Suhasini, coming to the visit of Ukrainian Foreign Minister, as you know that he's arrived in Delhi. He's here for a 2-day visit at the invitation of our External Affairs Minister. We will be discussing several aspects of our bilateral relationship, and also looking into areas of mutual interest and common concern, global issues and regional issues. As far as the question that you asked, our position is very clear on peace initiatives and how we look at the Ukraine-Russia conflict. We continue to encourage peaceful resolution of the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy, and remain open to engaging all ways and means that would help achieve this objective. So that is how I would answer your question. Regarding Gaza and the ceasefire, recently there was a UN Security Council resolution which was adopted. We see that resolution as a positive development. Beyond that, our position on Israel-Gaza conflict is very well known and has been articulated on multiple occasions. We have repeatedly called for de-escalation and preventing the spread of the conflict. We have condemned terrorism, called for release of hostages, sought protection of civilians, and reiterated the need for safe and timely delivery of humanitarian assistance and aid to the people of Palestine, and we also stand for a two-state solution. So that is how I would answer your question. Abhishek, regarding your question on Philippines, External Affairs Minister has already made our position very clear, how we look at issues that impact that part of the world, and he talked about it in very clear terms. It is in line with our long-standing position on the particular matter. So if there are there's a Kalol there.
Kalol Bhattacharjee from the Hindu. Last week we saw the Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran desk chief, Mr. JP Singh, visiting the Afghan embassy in Delhi. And we know that the Afghan embassy was shut down in November. So in this particular visit, he met with the Consul General of Afghanistan in Delhi, and there was discussion about various issues, including an Afghan India fund that goes back in time to 2007 or 8. So my question is, are we really now engaging the Taliban dispensation to such an extent that where these sort of matters, like functional matters, like exchanges of funds and things like that are being discussed? And also, is the Afghan embassy now officially open? That's also something I would like to know, because we don't have a head of mission, as I am given to understand, but is there a new head of mission that you would like to tell us that has taken over in the recent days?
Okay. Kunal?
This is regarding the Sri Lankan Prime Minister's visit to China. Is India looking into it? Is there any reading to it, or what's the stand of India, sir?
Okay. So, Kalol, to answer your question, the meeting of MEA officials with accredited diplomats is normal part of our functioning of our diplomacy. So, I would leave it at that. Kunal, regarding your question regarding the visit of Sri Lankan Prime Minister to Beijing, we monitor all developments that have an impact on our economic and security interests, and we take necessary action that are required to be taken. Sudeep.
So thank you for giving me a second question. So just drawing your notice to a statement from China which says that both sides, India and China, positively assess progress on the border issue at the WMCC meeting. Is there a breakthrough in the border dispute?
Sudhi, I would like to tell you that, this morning itself we had given a press release of the meeting that happened in Beijing. I would refer you to the press release. Please see, we have made some comments there. We have given details of how we have engaged with each other, and therefore I would request that please, if you could look at the press release, it will be helpful. Thank you very much. Let's close this session. See you later.